Hey, hope you're having a great day. Today officially marks the first day of my reading 7 books in 7 days challenge. I have never read that many books close together, so I figured I could start off with a book that I've already started. I'm about halfway through. I am on page 163 and there are 294 pages. Will I be able to read 7 books in 7 days? I don't know. I guess you'll have to watch to find out. Honestly, I feel like I'm making pretty good time because it's now noon and obviously I've driven to a different location and everything, but I'm on page 230 and that's only from an hour of reading, so I think that's pretty good. I officially only have 50 pages left. I finished A Man Called Ove yesterday and I'm gonna give it a 4.5, I think. It's not as good as Anxious People by the same author, but it was good. So for today, I'm going to start The Summer I Turned Pretty, which actually is a TV show that just came out on Amazon Prime, which I have yesterday. So if I finish this, I think I'm gonna watch the show right after. I love all of the white space in this book because literally there's so much, I feel like, and it makes it so much easier to read. For some reason, reading today is so much more difficult than it was yesterday. I'm only on page 30 and it's 1:30, so I do have a few more hours and I do have hope because the font is pretty big and it is pretty easy to read, so I should get it done today. Well, hello. It's been a little bit since the last time that we've talked. I believe the last time I talked to you was Saturday afternoon and it is now Monday morning. And you may be losing faith in me because I didn't give an update yesterday, but I assure you I did read. The last update I gave, I was less than 100 pages into The Summer I Turned Pretty, and I decided to read before bed, and I actually got through I would say 2/3 of the book, and then the next morning, so Sunday morning before I got out of bed, I decided to just read the rest of it, and it was actually pretty good. I'm sure you've seen this book or the show all over your TikTok For You page, but in case you don't know what it's about, it is about a girl named Belly and her mom, and her mom's best friend has 2 sons. And so they go to the same summer beach house every summer. And it's kind of like a love triangle, I guess, but it's not really a triangle. She just kind of has to choose between the brothers and then another love interest. And I did not expect her to choose the guy that she chose at the end of this, but the people on TikTok are saying that the male characters, are much better in the show. So I guess we'll have to find out if I agree. I would give this a 4 stars. I'm very excited to watch the series, but I feel like I won't be able to squeeze it in this week because of all my reading. So I guess that'll be next week's task. And then Sunday's book was Hello, Goodbye, and Everything in Between by Jennifer E. Smith. And this is actually the first book that I finished and started in the same day. So I started this Sunday afternoon and I only got maybe 1/3 of the way done. And then again, I decided to read before bed and I ended up finishing all of it at 11:30. So it was still the same day. I had never really gotten the hype about reading books before bed, but it is actually so nice because it's quiet and I feel like I read so much quicker at night. I didn't love the first half of this book because basically the plot is these 2 high school students who are going off to college and they have 12 hours. So this whole book takes place over 12 hours and they have to decide whether they want to break up or they want to stay together for college. And so the first half of the book is just them deciding like, should we break up, should we not? And it's just kind of like sad and annoying at times, but then they actually make their decision like halfway through the book, which I did not expect them to make a decision until like the end. And then I feel like it got much better, and I liked the second prologue. It was very nice, but I feel like the first half, it was only a 3.5 for me. But that brings us to today, Monday morning, and today's book is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. I am so excited for this because it was like so popular on Book Talk, and this is a series. This is the first book of the 3. I only have the first one because I wanted to make sure I liked it before I went out and purchased the other ones. This is definitely the longest book that I am reading for this challenge. It's 387 pages, so I am a bit worried that it's going to take a little bit longer to read, but I hope that it keeps me engaged because it is a murder mystery, I believe, and the rest of these books I think have just been romance, and then the first day's book was literary fiction. So I think I'll be on the edge of my seat, and hopefully it'll be a page turner. I must say, I've only finished the first chapter, but I am impressed. Well, hello, it is the next day, and I finished A Good Girl's Guide to Murder last night. It was so good, definitely 5 stars, and I will be reading the rest of the books in the series because it was so good. The entire time I was engaged, even after like the first page, I knew I was gonna like this book. It was fun to read. The ending like came out of nowhere for me anyway. I didn't predict it, but it wasn't like bad writing just thrown in for dramatic effect. Like it made sense, and I love the visuals. For example, they have like a picture of the murder victim's like schedule and stuff, and she draws a map in here. And like the thing I liked the most though was the format. It was like regular third person writing, and then it was like an interview or a part of her project. So it was constantly entertaining, and I enjoyed it so much. Go out, get this book. I'm so excited to read the next 2. That being said, today is Tuesday, and today's book is An Abundance of Katherines by John Green. I am not expecting this to be too good, which I think sounds mean, but I chose it because it's only 215 pages, so it is pretty short. But even when I'm just going through it, the font is kind of small, so maybe it will take longer than I thought. But I'm happy that I chose to do this book after A Good Girl's Guide to Murder because I don't really want to read anything too serious anyway, because that book was just so good. After today, I only have 2 more books to read, which is kind of crazy to me. It does not feel like I've already read like 4 books and then about to start a 5th one this week, but I think I am getting a hang of like starting a book in the morning and then finishing it at night, because I did struggle the first 2 days, I think it was, but for 2 days now, I have actually started in the morning and then finished at night, so I'm pretty impressed with myself. Well, hello, it is Thursday, which is day 7, the last day of this challenge, and I haven't even started day 6's book. An Abundance of Katherines took me much longer to read than I thought because it was very mathematical, and I don't know if the writing style was really the best. I did have a good time reading it for the most part, but I did only give it a 3.5. The plot was basically about this child prodigy who had dated 19 Katherines in his life, and he tries to find a mathematical equation for love while on a road trip with his best friend. It was fine to read, but again, it was day 5 of this challenge, so I was not in the mood to read anymore, and unfortunately it did take me all day yesterday to read it. So I'm stuck both reading the selection and everything today, and I'm not sure that I'll be able to fit it all in. One thing about reading so many books back to back is the characters kind of start to just mesh into one. For example, 2 days out of this week, I had a best friend character named Stella, and it was very hard for me to differentiate between Stella from one book and Stella from the other because I read the books back to back. And 2 books that I read also had like academic girls with very supportive parents. And while I was reading the second book, I kept thinking of scenarios from book 1's main character, and it was a little bit confusing. So I must say, taking a break makes it easier to understand the characters. But I mean, I should probably stop talking now so that I can start this book and hopefully finish it halfway through the day. Well, hello, it's been a few days and I have officially finished the books that I need to read in this challenge. I tried to read as fast as I could, so it wasn't exactly the most enjoyable, relaxing experience, but you know what? I did enjoy reading these books. I finished the selection on the 7th day, and I gave it a 5 out of 5. I'm so excited to get the Elite and the One, because those are the next books in the series. And basically, if you don't know, this book is about 35 girls that go to the prince's palace, and the prince basically eliminates them until there's only one left that is going to be the future queen. In this book, I think that it gets cut down to 6 girls by the end, so America Singer, the main character, is one of 6 girls. And Everything was my day 7 book, and I started it on day 7, but I didn't end up finishing it until 11 a.m. the next morning. So it did take a little bit more than 7 days to finish all 7 of these books. I really enjoyed reading this. I think I gave it a 4 or 4.5, and it was very quick to read because a lot of the chapters are pretty short, and there are like illustrations and maps and things like that. And as we know from A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, I love those sorts of things. So it was very, very nice to read. I think most chapters were only 2 pages long, so it went by super quick. And if you're looking for a quick book to read that'll take you like no time, I recommend this. I think it was great, and I'm very excited to see the movie. After reading all of these books, I thought for like a day that I wouldn't want to read anymore, but it has been a whole day without reading, and I've actually started the Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, and I am only on page 10. I'm not trying to rush through this or anything, but I mean, I missed it. I missed reading, so I think that's a good sign. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, I'd appreciate it if you gave it a like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!